Welcome to Big Thursday Night Modern at Magic Corner Vienna. My name is Michael and joining me is Walter. Well, on the left we have Kevin playing red-green Eldrazi, and on the right we have Marcel playing 8-Whack Gobble style deck. So let's have a closer look at the decks. Walter, what is Marcel trying to do with his list?
Yeah, so it's kind of straightforward. The deck is 8 whack goblins, which means it plays 8 whack effects, 4 goblin bushwhackers and 4 reckless bushwhackers, which pump your whole board of little goblins, which is very, very nice. So we've got an all-in low curve 18 land goblin deck, 17 mountains, 1 contested war zone, very, very sweet land, helps you push through damage and underlines the all-in nature. What we don't have in this deck are any load effects, no goblin chieftains, nothing that costs a lot of mana. Some other sweet include 1 goblin heel cutter, which can dash and not let creatures block. And then there's a couple of different 1-drops, 3 Fanatical Firebrands, 3 Mock Fanatics alongside the 4-offs of Foundry Street Denizen, Goblin Guide and Legion Loyalist, which is very, very nice against token decks. So what the Goblin deck generally is trying to do is to just swarm the board with a lot of cheap creatures. Very important is also Mock War Marshal, which makes 2 tokens, and then you just get off one of those whack effects, either the Bushwhacker with its kicker, or the Goblin Bushwhacker with the kicker, or the Reckless Bushwhacker when you surge it, when you play another spell before, which this deck is very easily capable of doing, because it plays a lot of very cheap spells. You get the whack, which means that all your creatures gain haste and gain +1/+0 until end of turn. So it's just all about whacking to your opponent as much as you can do. So what's Kevin up to with his red-green Eldrazi list here?
Well, he's basically playing all the good Eldrazi for not a lot of mana, plus Bloodbraid Elf. He's playing, of course, 4 of Thought-Knot Seer, 4 of Reality Smasher, and 4 of Matter Reshaper, so the crew is there, and he's also playing, how's it called? Yeah, Eldrazi Obligator to take control of his opponent's creatures. And to get things fast out early, he's playing 1 Birds of Paradise, 4 Noble Hierarchs, and 1 Mindstone. Of course, one of the best cards in this deck is Ancient Stirrings. He can get Thought-Knot Seer, Reality Smasher, or the best land in his deck, Eldrazi Damble, which produces 2 colorless mana for Eldrazi spells, which is really, really great. What's cool with his list is he's playing 1 Wastes. Usually people don't do that, and he's playing 1 Mindstone. Which is also a nice tech there for early ramp and later on card draw. And yeah, well, that's basically his deck. He's trying to disrupt his opponent with Thought-Knot Seer and play Bloodbraid Elves into Matter Reshaper or go Reality Smasher to threaten his opponent's life total. Okay, so let's get started with the rounds. So both players are currently shuffling up the decks. On the left we have Kevin here, on the right we have Marcel again. Kevin is playing red-green Eldrazi and Marcel is playing 8-whack Gobos. So, till they are ready, okay, we saw a lightning bolt flip here from Marcel, but Kevin, of course, did not see that. Most likely did not see that because he was busy doing other stuff. Walter, what do you have to say to this matchup?
Yeah, I think that this matchup, generally speaking, favors the Goblins deck, because the Eldrazi deck is a deck that, while it has a lot of acceleration, still focuses on playing 4 and 5 mana impactful spells, while the Goblin deck is choke full of 1-drops and damage. So it will depend on who's on the play here as well, but the Goblin deck will try to pressure the opponent and kill him before all those Thought-Knot Seers and Reality Smashers even matter, before they come into play and do something. So the Goblin player is trying to do... What the Goblin player is trying to do is just swarm the board early, get a lot of damage, and then finish off your opponent with some of those sweet Goblin Grenades, which did 5 damage with second Goblin. And on the other hand, I think that the Eldrazi player just needs to focus on his ramp and on his defenses. Matter Reshaper very important here, Lightning Bolts very important, and get to that late game, and then that deck is able to take over a game very, very fast. You've got a lot of haste threats, you've got a lot of value, So yeah, are they going to? Do you think they're going to roll the whole pack of dice?
Of course, because it's fun. No, usually they're just taking 2 up, and no one is as crazy as you, Walter. So Marcel rolled a 4 there, and Kevin rolled. I did not see it even.
It
Okay,
was
he's
an
going
8,
to
I
start,
think,
yes.
so that's definitely going to be a huge plus for the Eldrazi player, for Kevin here, because being on the play means that you will take less whacking early, and you have more opportunities to develop your board. So let's see what starting hands they're going to draw here.
Yes, if he goes first turn some green source and Birds of Paradise on Noble Hierarch, there's actually a good card in Marcel's stack for that. But Marcel is going to take a mulligan here. With which creature can he kill his Noble
It's
Hierarch?
not just one. He's got 3 fanatical firebrands, the new little mock fanatic, pseudo mock fanatic from Ixalan, and then he's got 3 mock fanatics, the OG mock fanatic. So both of these creatures are able to answer one of those mana dogs on turn 1 for 1 mana very efficiently. So yeah, of course, if the start here from Kevin involves one of those mana dogs, that would be a very nice answer. But we see Marcel here already mulliganing down to 6, so he was not happy with his 7. Let's see if he can find a better hand here on his mulligan.
I think he needs to find a better hand here because this kind of decks don't mulligan that well.
No, he's only playing 18 lands, only 17 red sources with that 1 contested war zone. It's easy to imagine getting a hand that's very clunky here, that doesn't have enough lands. Obviously, too many lands is also an issue, but statistically less relevant here with a very low land count deck. But let's see what he can do here. But being on the draw on a mile to 6 already puts a lot of pressure on his stack to perform and really have a quick start.
Yes, it does. I think he's still deciding if he wants to keep this hand. But you have to see, I think I see a land in his hand. Yes, there is at least 1 land. Hopefully there are not a lot more. And
no, he's
shuffling
going
it
back.
away.
He's
Okay.
going back to 5. I don't know.
Ooh, that's
I
pretty
wasn't
harsh.
able to see what exactly drew here. But going to 5 on the draw against any opponent, even with your 8 white goblin deck, you want to have things to whack. If you don't have
Yes,
enough
of
things
course.
on the board, your whacking is not as good as your whacking is when you have more things on the board.
Nah, but you know what? I've seen 1 land. So, for example, if this hand would have been a 1-lander and the rest would have been okayish, I think for myself on the draw I would have kept it.
I'm keeping any
because
1-lander on the draw with
I
the
got a
goblin
scry,
deck. Yeah.
And I'm on the draw, so I don't have to. I get an extra card, which is perfect for situations like this.
And your curve is all 1-drops. This deck here has actual 1-drops, cards that you want to cast for 1 mana. We've got 11, 15, we've got 23 cards that you want to cast for 1 mana. Goblin Bushwhacker also costs 1 mana, but you also only want to cast it for 2 because
Of
you want
course.
to kick it, otherwise it's just a 1/1 for 1, not good. And we see, but here actually we have Marcel on the play. Why do we have Marcel on the play here? Maybe they went for a low roll.
Oh,
They might have
yes.
gone for that because
Sure.
what I saw was a 4 by Marcel and an 8 by Kevin here, which would indicate that if it were a traditional high roll, we would have Kevin on the play, but that favors Marcel a bit more. He's got the Foundries to Dennis and getting pumped a nice combo with Mock Fanatic if he has access to 1, already being able to deal 3 damage, but also a accelerating start here from Kevin, which is good for him. And he's just going for the Bushwhacker straight away, which will be 5 damage, 2 from the Bushwhacker, 3 from the Foundry Street Dennis, and Foundry Street Dennis pumped by its own trigger and by the Bushwhacker. So already down to 15 here on the second turn, but let's see, we still see the mile to 5, and I think there's a 3rd land in Marcel's hand, which is not something he's happy to see here.
No, he actually doesn't want that. 3 lands, 2 are enough. 3 are okay, but not if you start with like 5 cards.
And turn 2 thought not see
Well, this is
happen, just
amazing.
happened. Just happened.
Yes,
Yeah.
Eldrazi Temple for the missing 2
Wow.
lands, and another Bushwhacker got taken, and
Yeah.
defense is up here.
The Eldrazi deck, Great Green Eldrazi, can have some clunky draws, but can also have those draws that just feel so unfair. With
Yes.
Eldrazi Temple and Mana Dogs, you have a lot of shots at the turn 2 Thought Not Seer.
You know what's also great? Turn 3 now?
Reality Smasher, does he have one in
Yes.
hand?
I haven't seen it. I really can't see his
Because
hand.
Reality Smasher does not mess with your opponent. It doesn't give them any time. It just smashes. You're
Yes.
smashing them away, and they can't draw cards because they're dead, which works against any deck.
It's
a good strategy.
That's the pretty basic strategy of what Eldrazi is trying to do. So, what will we see turn 3?
Yeah, Marcel didn't have any play here.
No.
No play. Just no play. It's like... And I think that Kevin didn't block here because he was scared of a bolt, which is reasonable on this life total. And now... Yeah, that's a smash. I don't know,
No,
it's
it's a
Blood
Blood Elf. Also, okay.
Into Obligator, yeah,
Sweet,
sure,
sweet,
Obligator,
yes.
he will not be able to pay for the extra cost to steal a creature, but still getting 6 powers worth of haste damage for 4 mana seems
great.
like a fair deal to me, right?
If I would be Kevin, I would be attacking with at least 2 or maybe 3 of his creatures.
If I were Kevin, I would attack with... I think I would attack with everything, because if you get whacked...
So it's your turn.
If you get whacked, you're
He's
just
not
going
to
to
die.
get hit for 7.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter, I think.
And you have lethal on the board, so yeah, Marcel was very likely did not draw a spell last turn, because otherwise he would have cast it. So yeah, I like that attack with all creatures here. You put him on a 2-turn clock, you probably have more gas in hand. There's so much haste in the red-green Eldrazi deck. You're playing 4 Rarity Smasher, 4 Blood-Red Elves, and 4 Obligators. So much hasty random damage just coming off the top or
it's pretty
hiding
sweet.
in the opponent's hand. It's a very sweet deck. It's just when you don't draw a Eldrazi Temple, what this deck does not have is Expedition Map as well, like Eldrazi-tron. It has Stirrings, but if you don't draw the Temple, it gets a bit clunky at times. But with the Temple,
A
oh
little
my
bit
god.
clunky, yeah. You know what? But they're still playing. He's still playing 1 Birds of Paradise and.
Ooh, the one of Heel Cutter is entering. It got dashed, and now he's just leaving the Bushwhacker behind as a jump blocker. This is a good play by Marcel here. This is the best he can do. It won't be good enough, but he's not that on board unless there's a removal spell.
No, and he
let's
still can get lucky with an attack for free in Goblin Grenade.
Yeah, definitely. This is something Goblin Grenade represents a huge amount of reach
Yes.
for that Goblin deck.
5
5
damage
for
is a
1
big
mana
deal.
for 1 spell, 1 card. I mean, it's 2 cards, but
Okay,
Obligator stealing that, and he is killing him with
Wow.
5, 8, 11,
Insane.
13, 14 damage. I think 14 seems enough. Yep, sure. Game 2.
Yes, let's go straight to the sideboarding.
So, let's start with what has Kevin brought to the table here against aggressive decks, whether they're goblins or not.
Well, he got Kozilek's Returned, which is an instant
Nice,
for generic
wow.
and 1 red and can and deals 2 damage to each creature on the board.
Kozilek's Return seems like the best.
Yes.
If I had to think of one card I wanted against the Goblins deck, I would say it's Kozilek's Return probably, because instant sweeping against that deck is huge. Your opponent commits to like a big whacking turn, and then you just sweep them in combat. It's just GG immediately, right?
Yeah, on the one hand, the effect on the board state is immense, but on the other hand, he's only playing 1 copy of this in his sideboard.
Yeah, sure,
So
but
he's
if
not
he were
sure
to
getting-
draw it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a great card, and I think 2 other cards which are okay in this matchup, not as good as Kozilek's Return, are Engineered Explosives.
Engineered Explosives are great. You just
Yes.
play it for 1 pretty much all the time. Like we said, 19 1-drop creatures in Marcel's deck. You can play it on 2 sometimes, but it's like huge. And including the Bushwhackers, it's 23 1-drop creatures actually.
And you know what's going to come out? Most likely to Dismember. I'm pretty sure. I don't think
I
they
also
do
think
enough.
Eldrazi Obligator is like completely unplayable in this matchup, so you have to figure it out.
Yeah, but you know what? Dismember in this matchup, I'm not sure if this is something he wants to do. It will cost him 4 life to kill 1 creature, and he's now on the draw.
Sure.
I really don't know
You
if you...
probably take out Dismembers first and then Obligators, but Obligators on the draw also seem horrible.
You know what? Bloodbraid Elf into Obligator still makes 2 blockers.
Sure, but Blood-Red Elf into anything is good. Blood-Red Elf is a good card. I'm not saying anything against Blood-Red Elf. But
Bloodbraid Elf into
Obligator,
Mindstone, in this matchup, really not what he wants. Maybe Mindstone is coming out. Yeah, I'm not really sure. But for sure they do Dismember.
yeah.
Yeah, would say this would be the sideboarding for Kevin. So, what is Marcel going to do?
So Marcel also, like Kevin's sideboard, it's not geared for the other deck here, right? Like, Marcel doesn't have too many anti-aggro, Kevin didn't have too many anti-aggro measures, and now Marcel has 2 huge ones, very, very sweet from Karadush block, Karisev's expertise, which lets again, it's like Obligator without the stick, but you get to play, it basically cascades with your hand, so you get to play a spell from your hand with mana cost less than the 3 mana the expertise costs, and then you just threaten a creature. Do you know what is very good to threaten? Like cards like Reality Smasher or other big cards. Other than that, he would have access to a 4th Goblin Pile Driver on the play that's reasonably in this matchup just to pure damage output. I would probably board that in. Skullcrack, not very effective because life gain is not what the deck gets you with. This is just against life gain, and then there's no other cards that really interact. In your main deck, I think that you just shave pieces for those 3 cards, whatever you feel like you can take out. I'm not completely sure.
So from an outside position, I would guess that now Marcel is on the play, and because of how the decks look, that he should be favored in this matchup. Except Kevin is trying into his
Kozilek's
return. Yeah, instant mass removal.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment here. Marcel really needs to not mulligan to 5 this time and put some pressure on him. Like, his start on the Mario to 5 just didn't do anything against what Kevin had. Marcel also needs to make sure that Kevin doesn't draw an Accelerant into a Temple, into a Thought Knot Seer and a Smasher again, but he can't influence that, so all he has to do is make sure that he tries to not keep a hand that doesn't do anything and put pressure on his opponent.
Hopefully he's not. Hopefully Marcel is not going to mulligan again, because the first game, I think, wasn't really a real game. It was just him not drawing that well, and Kevin just running over him with really a sweet draw.
Definitely, Kevin's draw was among the best his decks can produce, while Marcel's was very not like that. But now we see Kevin mulliganing, Marcel keeping, so that's kind of like, justice of some sort. It's getting evened out. And we see maybe Marcel gets to Curry's expertise for Reality Smasher, and Kevin will have to read Curry's expertise. Maybe he knows what the card does. Maybe just be surprised.
But you know what? Just for the viewers here, if he targets a Reality Smasher with Curry's expertise, he has to discard a card.
True, but you still smash your opponent for 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well,
seems good.
Seems fair, I would say, or unfair.
You can also just target something else, but Reality Smasher is the biggest thing, so it's probably the best target.
And has trample.
It has trample, that's also important, and I think if you put Karisev's expertise into your modern side, but you want it against Eldrazi decks. Because otherwise you would not be putting that card into your sideboard.
Not really.
So we have the Scry here to the bottom, and let's see what Marcel can come up.
Marcel is, of course, playing a 1-drop. Oh, Goblin Guide, perfect 1-drop.
Probably the best one, but explosives on the top, but he knows about the explosives. The explosives you know about a way, they still annoy, but they're way less annoying than the ones that just get 3 for 1 you out of nowhere.
So, no explosives for 1 here, turn 1, because he has a Lightning Bolt in hand.
Ooh.
So, what are we going to see here? 2 2-drops? No, it's a Goblin Pile Driver, sweet.
But why do you play the Pile Driver pre-combat here? Why are you doing this? This is not great, because now he gets to not kill the Goblin Guide and just kill the Pile Driver. With that
Souls is being put into his
bolt.
hand. Yes, you're right.
Because otherwise it would get killed, and then you play the Pile Driver post-combat, and if you follow up with more haste threats. The Pile Driver in play, but he's still okay.
Sweet. Perfect.
Kevin does not take the opportunity here and just still kills the Goblin Guide. He probably has another removal for the Pile Driver in hand, right?
Yes, maybe just another Lightning Bolt, because he's playing 4 of his Lightning Bolts, and
Because just imagine, next turn Marcel goes 1-drop into whack. Then you get 6 damage out of that Pile Driver immediately. But now we still just have a pass here with the
he could go
Forest.
How are the goblins called, which produce 2?
Mog War Marshal, but you can't play War Marshal into a whack effect on 3 mana, because the whack effects cost 2 mana each. And we just have a Fanatic here.
And maybe another
whack effect. And a whack effect, that's definitely a whack effect. Now the pre-combat, whacking is commencing.
Sweet.
And Pile Driver will trigger. So it's a 6-2 now.
Sweet. 6,
I think Kevin should have Kevin does not have a bolt here, so it's 10 damage, and also the explosives for 2 are not doing anything here. So I'm not like I didn't like Marcel's play, but I liked Kevin's play even less before. He got the opportunity to kill a pile driver instead, and he still went with the Goblin Guide. Probably underestimating, maybe he's not familiar with the 8-Wax strategy, and underestimating how much damage that deck can put on the board out of nowhere.
Yeah, and Pile Driver is a tool to achieve that. So they are currently talking about Kevin of Souls, what it does, and it does not really matter in this matchup. Maybe he wants to name another creature type instead of Eldrazi.
You
because he's
often
playing
want to,
Blood
you
Red
often
Elf,
want to name Elf in this deck, definitely, especially against matchups where the counterability of your spells is not relevant. Your mana is a bit clunky. You play a lot of you play 4 Caverns for Eldrazi Temple, so your Blood Red Elves come at a cost. They're very powerful, but you don't support them too well with your mana base. So naming Elf would help here.
Yeah, naming Elf is okay, but he doesn't need to currently because.
And now
he has Couples of
explosives
Forest.
on 1.
Yep.
Explosives on 1 are not too great here. You
Nope.
you get rid of the Mock Fanatic and the Bushwhacker. You deal 1 damage. You get 1 damage from Mock Fanatic in the process, and that's not amazing. But the good thing with explosives is you're not going to get any combat damage dealt to you by creatures played by Marcel the following turn. Haste creatures for 1 mana are out of the equation right now. You can't play them because they just die.
Yes, but the other 4 whack effects.
Ooh,
boy,
contested
really?
fucking Warzone. Kevin is like, what is this? Let me read it. So, for those who didn't listen to our little tech part, it is a very, very sweet Lantern from the Scars of Mirrodin block. It can pump all creatures you control, but it has a downside. If your opponent deals combat damage to you, you give them your Warzone, and then it goes forth and back if that happens. But it has the opportunity, the ability to go forth and back. It's very nice in this deck as a one-off simply because it can translate to 4-5 damage.
Yes,
in
but
one
for
turn.
Kevin to get it, he needs to play Eldrazi Temple and Reality Smasher next turn, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
No,
That's
also
his,
an attack
gameplay
with
strategy.
Reality Smasher sounds like, so beginning of combat, he's cracking it, and now Mark Fanatic is going to go upstairs.
Of
Very
course.
visually depicted
So,
here.
you know what?
Yep.
He's going down to 7 life if he activates the Warzone.
Six
He's now to 7 life. When he activates the Warzone, he's going down to 5 life.
No, to 6.
He should be on 7, or did I miss something? He should be on 7. I think they're
Ah,
discussing
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
They
of
missed
course.
they missed
Of course,
that
yeah.
Mock Fanatic ping.
Okay,
And he
so
is
now,
using the Warzone.
yeah,
So it's going
fine.
down
Okay,
to
so-
5, and this is Goblin Grenade time. Yeah, this is it. Game 2 was as quick as game 1.
But yes, it was really, really quick.
This was
good
a turn
stuff.
4 kill.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Some
cool.
whacking, a Goblin Grenade, and turn 4 kill. The thing is, Marcel would like to have that draw on the play again. He might have that draw again. He can't have it on the play again. Kevin he probably should have played explosives a bit earlier, I guess. Or killed that pile driver. That was a lot of damage.
He knew that he was going to try an explosives.
Yep.
He had 1 lightning bolt in hand. The best target for the bolt in this case would have been the Bile Driver.
Definitely.
Because with the rest of the board, he could have handled with his explosives at instant speed. So he would have been protected for 1 turn. And I think this misplay cost him.
Do you
the
think
game.
you would have played explosives turn 1? Because I wasn't a fan of playing explosives turn 1. I think that was right not playing them there. That was correct.
No, he doesn't
But
need
then
to play
you
him
just
turn
need
1.
to.
But the lightning
Yeah.
bolt turn 1 was, in my opinion, a misplay.
And the thing is, if Marcel just attacked, I would have bolted. I think bolting would have been 100% correct there.
Mm-hmm.
But because of Marcel's slight misstep, Kevin's actually correct play was a misstep too, because he had additional information that he did not translate into his strategy there.
Mhm.
And then what ended up happening is that Pile Driver hit him for 6 straight up in the face. And against that deck, like we saw, he died on Exactis on turn 4 because he took 6 damage of that Pile Driver.
Yes, he took 6 damage of the Bile Driver and another 2, and then 5 from the Goblin Grenade and 1 from Muck Fanatic.
Yeah, 1
for
from the
final.
Mock Fanatic as well. Like the Explosives was good, but the Mock Fanatic still
Yeah,
got to ping.
in this case, the explosive wasn't that good. It handled like 1 creature.
It was like, yeah, it handled 2 creatures while you took 1 damage. It's like,
Yeah, in this
it was
scenario,
okay.
it was only good because Driver was still on the board. Because this was the most effect the explosives had. It was reducing Driver's power. But nevertheless, it was still enough damage to win this game for myself.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that Kevin will realize this for game 3. So Pile Driver is an issue. He probably underestimated it. He did not see much of the deck. He got whacked game 1 for 5 damage, but now he will definitely be able to evaluate what is important in the damage output of the 8-whack deck more accurately here.
Yes, I think so too. And one reason I think why he might have undervalued this card is because I'm not sure, but 8-whack is not really played that often in
No,
Magic
it's a very nice budget option. But not many people actually play it. That's right. Yep.
But I think it's a sweet deck, and you, if you like goblins, you should go for it.
It's definitely, if you want to start modern, 8-whack, like the goblin guides are not that expensive, but you can even cut them if you feel like it, and you can definitely get a very, very efficient budget deck that can get quite a few wins out of nowhere because you have those 8-whacks and the goblin grenades, and none of those cards are to be joked with. They all
not
very,
really.
very, very
Oh
damaged.
my gosh! Do you see what's happening there? Marcel is
Is he
getting
mulling to
yes, he's mulligan to 6.
Oh, to 6, okay.
But yes, you know what? This is an aggro deck where I want to have a lot of creatures in play.
Definitely.
And
But you
even
can't.
a mulligan to 6 is not really that thing you want. And as you see, Kevin is keeping his 7-card hand, 7-card hand, and this is not in a position where you want to be on the draw.
No, but on the draw you can still draw something reasonable. The thing with the 8-whack deck is basically every hand that has 4+ lands is an insta-mulligan.
Yes.
That's something because you just can't keep 4 lands, 3 spells on 7. That's bullshit. That's not going to work with what your deck is trying to achieve today.
Do not have any card draw spells or card advantage spells in your deck.
Your opening hand is what is going to happen. You draw some additional cards, but if your opening hand is not good, what you do in the game will not be good. You're going to draw more 1-drops, sure. If you don't have a lot of 1-drops to begin with, it's not going to do anything.
No, then it's like you need to wait a few turns till you can start whacking again.
Yeah, but you wanna do the double whack. You wanna whack and then you wanna whack. You don't want to relieve the pressure.
Can you see his hand from here? I think
I can see Karisev's expertise. That's good enough for me. But yeah, it's on the right of his hand. But he's crying to the top here. But yeah, Hierarch. Now I want one of those 1-drops. Kill the Hierarch. Just kill the Hierarch.
I think
kill
the Hierarch. Fanatic here. Yeah,
kill the Hierarch. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. It's nice. Hierarch got killed. But we see what the follow-up is. But that was as much as Marcel can hope for here on the draw against the Hierarch starting.
It was his best turn 1 play, and we do see Kevin fetching with a Wooded Full Tilt.
Also, Caplus and Forest is a lot worse for Kevin here than Grove the Battle Raiders will do, because he'd much rather give Marcel life than he'd lose life himself for the same effect.
So we are going to see a Mindstone here.
Oh.
So he did not board out the one of Mindstone.
Yeah, I would not do that. That's like if you want to still play a lot of expensive spells, you can't do that. I think I see a Bushwhacker on the right here.
Oh, sweet.
Is this just... No, this is the saddest Bushwhacker ever. This is sad whacking. This
Bushwhacker needs friends.
This is so bad. It's just 2 damage and then you get a 1/1. It's just a 1/1.
Oh boy, we see... No, it's not.
That's not... Yeah, no, Blood Raid.
It's not...
Into Hierarch.
Okay.
Sure, I'll take it. If I were Kevin, I'd take it. I prefer a Matter Reshaper, but I'm still happy. Exorted happens. 4 damage to the face. And now... Both are at 16, but Marcel still just has this like mopey whacker in play. Very mopey indeed.
Well, there's only this lonely whacker in play, and Kevin already has Blood Red Elf and Noble Hierarch as creatures, so...
but there's another whacker in hand. Can he go 1-drop whacker? Maybe? Just
hopefully
once?
he can go 1-drop whacker.
I mean, I think I saw that expertise before. Expertise is a nice way to close out the game here. Might come as a surprise, but you still need to get your opponent down to single-digit amount of life. Because otherwise you're not going to expertise them and get something. Just kill them with a huge surprise swing. It's not going to happen. But yeah, Bushwhacker as a normal whacker and then a reckless Bushwhacker. Now we got some action whacking for 6 here.
Ooh.
So he's whacking for 6, that's okay, but this is too many whack effects, not enough of the other.
Good creatures,
goblins.
yes.
Just some goblin guide or anything here, even Legion's Loyalist.
But you know what? He has now 4 damage on board. He has Charismatic Expertise in hand, so if we do see a Reality Smasher or another good creature now...
Reality Smasher
not
into
a
attack
Thought-Knot
here
Seer.
is dead, yeah.
A Thought-Knot Seer would be devastating here, and I think it's looking like a Thought-Knot
This
Seer.
looks...
No,
another
it's another
Blood
Blood
Braid.
Braid Elf.
Okay. Into Obligator, and he can... You're stealing something here if you can't do anything else, but it's you hit for an additional 2 damage. He's thinking if he wants to pay for the Obligator trigger here.
Yes, he has 9 haste damage on board, so...
Could
the
be
red
11, you
green-
can't attack with everything, because then you risk dying probably. But
course
if
not.
you don't have anything better to do with the 2 mana, you might as well attack with the Verwegener Buschguerillero, which is the best German translation ever. It's Goblin Bushwhacker in German. It has 25 more syllables than Goblin Bushwhacker, and that has a lot of syllables already. Also, no idea where the guerrilla fighting is coming from here, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I at least saw 1 lightning bolt in his hand, so he's for sure...
He's
not
just
going to
sitting
get
on the
one.
lightning
Yeah.
bolt and just swinging for around.
Maybe
yeah.
he's sitting on 2 lightning bolt.
Wow.
So 9 damage to the face. It's going down to 7, 2 lightning bolt in
Do you
hand.
know what
Oh,
Marcel would
This was
need
really
to-
close. This was really
Marcel
close.
needs to carry Seth's expertise into an additional whacking. That would be good.
Yes, but this would not be enough, I think.
But he can't do it because he can't whack. He doesn't have enough mana unless he has a 4th mountain. Because the one whacker needs to be searched and the other whacker needs to be kicked. You can kick off. Ooh, Warzone.
This is not enough, sadly.
The thing is, you kind of need to try to kill him this turn because otherwise you can't do anything. Do you want to start jumping? No.
No, you know what? Kevin has 2 lightning bolt in his hand. If there isn't a big turn from Marcel here, he's going to win the next turn.
Yeah, Marcel only has 2 cards in hand and is just attacking here with beginning of combat. Wow, okay. What does Kevin want to do in the beginning of combat? Step reread the contested Warzone. Don't want to die to this random card that nobody has ever played against you in Modern before. There have been some old-in affinity lists from Japan, I think, that ran it as a 1 or 2.
Yeah,
Pretty
Japanese
sweet,
decks
but
are
yeah.
sweet.
But yeah, I haven't seen it much. I don't know if it's a mainstay in 8 whack, but it seems like a sweet one. Of the problem with 8 whack, all your stuff costs colored mana. Having this 1 colorless land looks like it might be a liability on your mana base sometimes, but when you're already drawing 4 lands, and that just means mostly you lose with this deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can help get you out some situations, but yeah.
So he's going to attack and activate his land, so all of his attacking creatures get +1/+0. So we do see the first lightning bolt here
On
hitting
the-
Bushwhacker. Yes, the 2/1. So 2/1/1s are attacking, and Kevin, I think, is just taking 2 damage.
He's taking 4 because of the
because of the
Warzone, yeah.
Warzone, yes. So it's down to
Mock
6.
Fanatic? Is it? Not Mock Fanatic, Mock War Marshal. It is Mock War Marshal, which is nice because now you get a token, an additional jump blocker, and if you jump with the Mock War Marshal, you get another goblin. We have very, very fancy goblin tokens brought here by Marcel.
Yes, from the Spider-Man movie, or? Of course, the Goblin.
I think so. Yeah.
Sure. Must be.
Is it called a green? Is it called a green goblin in Spider-Man? I don't know if it's got a color. I don't know. It's just called a goblin.
Ages.
It might be called a green
I
goblin.
don't know,
got no
but
idea.
this actor is one of the best actors alive. So
Who's the actor?
I don't know. His name.
Okay, sure. I've got no idea about
You don't
films ever.
know? He's great. He made Spider-Man what it was.
Okay.
Really, it was like.
I remember I remember seeing Spider-Man, but I have no idea about the actor's name and what kind of goblin he was.
No, I do not remember
Thing, but
names,
yeah.
so I have to write everything down. I got a letter in front of me which states to the left there is Kevin and to the right there's Marcel and the decks are on it. So
That's
I got a
nice.
good
You know,
setup
Marcel
there.
is the guy with the beard, Kevin is the guy without the beard. Marcel is the guy with the flannel shirt, Kevin is the guy with the denim jacket. It's like, you know, there's visions that help you.
You know what I'm asking myself? Why did
He board the War Marshal? No idea. Probably because he forgot to read that card and just wanted to get rid of the creature, not of the goblin token. But yeah, now actually it looks like Marcel will have another turn here if no reality smashing happens because he has got 2 jump blocks here.
But there is a Kasich Wolfrun there.
There
Does
is
it
a
give
Kasich Wolfrun, but
+1/+1 and trample, or?
it's not gonna be lethal here though.
Sure.
Because you just activate it for a 3 pump, you block, and you need to block another thing. There's a Wolfrun. If you block 2 things here with the Wolfrun, you're only going to take exactly 7 damage and die, sure. No, 6. It's 7. It's 7.
6 damage.
No, because
3?
it's 2 going through with the blocked creature plus trample plus 3. Yeah, sure.
He's not going to die here if he blocks with both creatures. That's why I was thinking why he did kill the Mock War Marshal. Because with only 1 creature left, he would have won.
It is lethal.
Why
1
am I
creature is
miscalculating?
unblocked for 3 damage, and then
Yes.
you have a pump for 3 on the other creature, which means 5 damage gets through.
Sure,
so you got a total of 8 damage. So Marcel
Damn.
can do whatever he wants. He is
Yeah,
just dead
it
to the
doesn't matter,
Wolfrun,
doesn't matter,
which
yes,
is a
of
very,
course.
very,
Sorry.
very sweet one-off in the Red Red Dress
Well,
deck.
yeah, you know what? I just thought it just gave +1/+1. But
No,
says
it's not.
X, red,
Do you know what gives
yeah.
+1/+0 and trample? Also very sweet.
Yeah.
Skark, the Rage Pit, the original Kasich Wolfrun from Ravnica block, the Gruul ability land. You tap it for 1 mana, for 1 green and 1 red, and I think then you tap it and it gives +1/+1 and trample. That was like what Kasich Wolfrun was based on.
Yes, that's exactly the card I had in mind when I was talking.
Sure, sure. I like your knowledge of old fun cards.
Yeah,
Some people actually played Skark Wolfrun in Sudex over Skark, the Rage Pit, whatever it's called,
Yeah, the Rage Pit.
over Wolfrun in Sudex in the early days of Modern.
Why?
Simply because when you activate it, when you only have 2 mana, when you have very limited mana, it's actually better value, but then it's not. But yeah, now
So GG's here.
Yep.
Kevin wins the match.
he bought it in Smash with Smithereens, which doesn't do anything. He probably thought that there are some other things waiting here in the Eldrazi deck, but that Mindstone, right? That single Mindstone is the only target for Smash with Smithereens, because there's no...
engineered explosives.
Sure, but I'm sure, I think he was probably scared of Chalice, and there's no Chalices in Kevin's deck here, right?
No, of course not, because he's playing 4 Lightning Bolt,
Yeah.
4 Noble Hierarch, 1 Birds of Paradise,
And 4
Ancient
Ancient
Stirrings.
Stirring, sure, you can't play Chalice with that.
But you know what? He could have at least brought in 1 from his sideboard. There is a possibility there. Just try his sideboard. No, sorry. I'm joking. No, it's 1 choke. Yeah, really. It's a big choke.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sure. That's very, very
Okay.
great. Do you know what the difference between a voiced and an unvoiced consonant sound is? The word joking has a voiced one, which means you feel it when you touch your throat, where the word choke, like the green enchantment, does not have a voiced one, which means you don't feel any friction in your throat while you pronounce that word. Stupid linguistic knowledge
Yes,
is always nice.
and for the audience, do not let him be your English teacher, because he's doing that thing non-stop off mic.
Yeah, just let him be your English teacher. But yeah, we had a nice match here. The thing is, we unfortunately got a very, very nice draw here again by Kevin in game 3. Pretty much 3 very, very one-sided games happened here. But I think this matchup, I still retain the position that I think Goblins is favored in this matchup overall. Don't you agree?
I would say so too, at least before sideboarding. But Goblin has also a high chance of losing against itself, which you
Sure,
basically
but I
saw
think
right
Goblins is... I think the 8-wing deck is more consistent than what we saw here in its performance on
I
camera.
think so too.
I think this was a bit of an unlucky streak for
This was
Marcel
really
here.
unlucky. I played against Kevin in this tournament too, and we both were like having this draws.
Yeah.
Where we were like, deck, what you're doing? So he then had the better top decks and won the match, but for both of us, it was no game really like playing fun. Yay! We got to
No
think about a lot
epic
of stuff.
plays, no really
No,
strategic
nothing.
decisions.
It was just like,
yeah.
now this card.
Yeah, that
why?
happens. Magic is game of variance, which makes it great to me. And yeah, I think we'll see you again, hopefully with the next round.
Yes, and feel free to comment below, and if you like what we're doing, hit a subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you get a notification every time when we post new videos on YouTube. Yeah, yeah, see you in the next video. Ciao.
English lessons by Michi can be booked via personal message on YouTube as well. Just a friendly disclaimer.